important, but probably the most interesting news of the day is coming out of nowhere and really unexpected. The surprise signing in midfield for Chelsea could be Granit Xhaka. Yes, because the Swiss midfielder from Sunderland has decided to make very clear to the club his desire. He wants to go to Chelsea. Why Chelsea? One name, Xabi Alonso. The relationship between Xabi Alonso and Granit Xhaka is simply excellent. They love each other, there is a great feeling. Xabi Alonso wants to have this kind of leader. I told you, at the beginning of the summer transfer window, Chelsea will also go in the direction of, as always, talented players, young players. Marco Palestra, done deal, signed, 6-year contract, 1-year option, 55 million euros plus to Atalanta. So Palestra is a new Chelsea player, is a huge talent. But also experienced players to be added to their squad to change a bit the strategy. And about experienced players, Granit Xhaka wants to go to Chelsea. He already told via his agents to Sunderland his desire to, first of all, move back to London. It's a personal desire of the player with his family. He used to live in London, obviously, when he was playing for Arsenal, and he wants to go back to London with his family, with his wife. So it's the desire of Granit Xhaka. Second, Xabi Alonso. The relationship is fantastic. They were together at Bayer Leverkusen, winning together, showing a perfect match. Granit Xhaka was the manager on the pitch for Xabi Alonso. And so to have Granit Xhaka for Xabi is absolutely considered as a priority in the summer transfer window. Now, it depends on club to club. It depends on what's going to happen between Chelsea and Sunderland in terms of conversations. But Granit Xhaka already told Chelsea that he wants to go back to London and he wants to make this move happen. He wants to make this move happen in any case. So it's not going to be about the length of the contract, the salary. Granit Xhaka is prepared to accept the Chelsea contract conditions. Personal terms will not be a problem. Now it's on club to club because Sunderland were planning their season 26-27 with Granit Xhaka as a crucial player for Régis Lebris, and so obviously to lose Xhaka, it's a bad news for Sunderland. They didn't want him to go, so let's see now what happens club to club, but Chelsea are on it, the conversation is underway, and Granit Xhaka could be the surprise signing for the Blues in midfield. So the deal is on. The deal is the surprise of the day for Granit Xhaka and Chelsea. Talking about Chelsea, is not a surprise if you follow the channel, the movement around Trevoh Chalobah. I told you exclusively 4 days ago, Chelsea have put in a bid for Trevoh Chalobah. Como have put in a bid to Chelsea for Trevoh Chalobah. That bid from Como, Italy, and also Champions League club, is 25 million euros. Rejected by Chelsea. Chelsea want more. Chelsea start around 40 million euros to close around 35, 30 plus 5, something around that. So this could be the value of Trevoh Chalobah. Now, obviously, Como are still there. Como want to sign a top centre-back because they're going to play Champions League football and to have not just Nico Paz, not just important players up front, but also to add a top centre-back is a priority. So the conversation is underway for Trevoh Chalobah, but it's not only Como, because I told you, keep an eye also on Inter. I told you in a video 4 days ago that Chelsea are not accepting 25 million euros from Como for Trevoh Chalobah. Why? Because they feel there are more clubs. Inter are one of them. Inter are considering Chalobah. At the moment, it's not guaranteed target, it's not close, it's not advanced, but it's one of the players under consideration by Inter. A player who was already appreciated years ago by Inter director Ausilio, and so could be an option for Inter. And then there are more clubs calling. So Chelsea feel there could be several clubs at the table for Chalobah. This is why they are not accepting 25 million euros from Como. I can tell you that the player is keen on a move to Italy. Como, Inter, he would like to try an experience in Serie A, and so there could be movement around Trevoh Chalobah. One to watch for sure.
Just when everyone thought Chelsea's transfer plans were all about young stars and long-term projects, a surprise name has entered the conversation: Granit Xhaka. It might sound unexpected, but if the Blues are serious about returning to the Champions League, signing an experienced midfielder like Xhaka could actually make a lot of sense. The question is, could he be the missing piece Chelsea need? Let's be honest, Chelsea's squad is full of talent. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, Cole Palmer, and the rest of this young team have all shown flashes of brilliance. But when things get difficult, when the pressure is on and the games become chaotic, Chelsea have sometimes lacked leadership and control. That's exactly where Xhaka comes in. The Swiss international has been there and done it all. He's captained clubs, won major trophies, and played in some of the biggest matches in world football. You don't bring in Granit Xhaka for pace or flashy skills. You bring him in because he understands how to manage games, organize teammates, and keep everyone calm under pressure. One of Chelsea's biggest problems last season was consistency. They would dominate one game and then completely lose control of the next. Xhaka could help solve that issue. He's the kind of midfielder who slows the game down when necessary and speeds it up when the opportunity is there. Sometimes, experience can be just as important as talent. Tactically, he could also be a huge asset. Imagine Xhaka sitting slightly deeper, allowing Enzo Fernandez more freedom to create and Moises Caicedo to focus on winning the ball back. Suddenly, Chelsea's midfield looks much more balanced. Instead of relying entirely on youthful energy, they would have a leader who knows how to dictate the rhythm of a match. Then there's the mentality aspect. Qualifying for the Champions League isn't just about having great players. It's about handling pressure during the final weeks of the season, winning difficult away matches, and staying calm when every point matters. Xhaka has been through those situations countless times during his career. That experience could be invaluable to a young Chelsea squad. Another reason this move could make sense is the dressing room. Every successful team needs experienced voices. Look at the best sides in Europe and you'll find players who lead by example and demand high standards every single day. Xhaka's personality could help raise the mentality of the entire squad, especially the younger players still learning what it takes to compete at the highest level. Of course, signing Xhaka wouldn't automatically guarantee Champions League football. Chelsea still need goals, defensive consistency, and improvement across the squad. But adding a player with his leadership, experience, and composure could be the difference in those tight matches that often decide who finishes in the top four. So, Chelsea fans, what do you think? Would you welcome Granit Xhaka at Stamford Bridge if it meant adding experience and leadership to this young team? Could he be the man who helps guide Chelsea back into the Champions League? Or should the club continue building solely around youth? Let me know your thoughts because this might be the most surprising transfer rumor of the summer.